Welcome and karibuni to Aroma of Zanzibar. Today I'm going to share with you how I'm making this delicious creamy coconut dal. So I've got my ingredients here and I've got this large onion. I'm only using half of it. That will be equal to one medium-sized onion. And then we're going to blanch our tomatoes and also make a garlic paste. So that's about 5 cloves of garlic, large ones, that I have peeled and sliced them into small pieces. And I added a bit too much of salt. That's what happens when you don't use a measuring spoon. I only wanted about half a teaspoon. So for the ginger, I'm using about this size. And I just peeled the ginger and then I just cut it into nice thin strips. And then I added the rest of the salt. I like to use the salt when I'm making a paste. It's easier. All right. So over here on medium heat, I just added 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil and then 1 teaspoon of whole cumin seeds, jeera, and about half a teaspoon of mustard seeds. All right. If you don't have mustard seeds, it's all right. So we're just going to saute this for about 2 to 3 minutes. I basically want to release those aromas of the cumin seeds. But make sure that you don't burn it. So that should take about 2 minutes. And then I add the onions, the chopped onions. Diced rather, they're not chopped. And we're going to saute this for about 3 to 4 minutes until they start to brown. But you really don't want to get that color. So at this point, I like to add the garlic. That's about 1 tablespoon of garlic. It's a bit too much, but I like a lot of garlic in the dal or any kind of lentils. It releases the gas, all right? And that's why I add it in the beginning without the ginger, all right? So you're just going to saute that for about 2 minutes. And then I added half a teaspoon of cumin powder, 1 teaspoon of coriander powder, and 1 teaspoon of red chili powder, and about a quarter teaspoon of turmeric powder, the yellow one. And we're just going to saute this again for about 2 minutes. You can add more spices if you want it to become more spicy. Now at this point, I'm ready to add my blanched tomatoes, which have been peeled, the skin, and also diced. Now, if you wish to know how to blanch tomatoes, I do have a full video that I will put the link in the description box below. So we're going to cook this for about 6 to 7 minutes until all the tomatoes are nice and soft and tender. I just added 2 dry chilies, which is optional. And then at this point, I'm ready to start with my dal. I'm using masoor dal, which is split red lentils. Now, these lentils do not require any pre-cooking or soaking. That's why I'm working on them right now. Now, you can also use this recipe for the chana dal, but please make sure that it's pre-cooked. So we're going to wash this for maybe 2 or 3 times till they're nice and clean, or you can have your water, clear, nice and clear, run clear. So just, this was my 2nd time, and then we're going to go for the 3rd time as well. So I did forget to add the ginger paste, so I'm just going to add to it now. Just saute for a couple of minutes. The ginger does add little extra flavors, but if you don't want to, it's okay, but do not omit the garlic. The garlic is very important in any type of lentils or beans. It releases a lot of gas, all right? So now I just added the lentils. Make sure they're not wet, okay? Strain the water, and then you're just going to kind of roast it, but it's a kind of wet roasting, to get all those flavors going on, all right? So I just saute that for a couple of minutes and then we add water. Now you can use about 2 to 3 cups of water. I started with 1.5, then I added about half a cup. I usually don't measure when I cook dal, but when I'm doing a video, I guess I have to be accurate telling you guys. So then I added another half a cup of water. Now, if your dal does not cook the way you want it, you may need to add more water and cook it further. So I simmered mine for about 15 to 20 minutes. And then after that, I just add my coriander, cilantro for some extra flavors and aromas. And then I just cover it and simmer it for further 3 to 4 minutes. So I'm using this coconut cream. As you can see, it's really nice and creamy. It's really, really thick, but if you have fresh coconut, please go ahead and use fresh coconut that you can squeeze, or coconut milk, powder, milk powder. Please read the instructions and see how much you would need for a cup or half a cup. So I've used about a quarter cup because this is pretty thick. Now it depends how thick you want your dal to be. For me, it depends what I'm serving it with. So I served it with naan. I like it to be thicker. I added a little bit, but if I'm serving it with rice, I like it to be more thinner. All right. So that depends on you. Well, you're just gonna mix it well and do taste. So I added about a quarter teaspoon of kosher salt. And then we're just gonna simmer it for about 5 minutes before we serve. All right. So here's my dal. Please remember that lentils do thicken as they stay. The longer they stay, they become more thick. Okay, so you can serve this with anything that you want, rice, or mostly rice or chapati. But I made some beautiful garlic naan that I can't wait to share with you guys. So please stay tuned, and I'll be back soon with that recipe as well. So thank you so much. For more recipes, please visit me at Aroma of Zanzibar, and you'll find all the ingredients and the measurements in the description box below. Thank you.